So Peter Moore, welcome to SoccerX.
Pleasure.
Just talk us through some of the things you're doing here and what you expect to find.
Well, I've just come off stage and like any good Liverpudlian rambled on about my football team, Liverpool, which I both supported, and I had the honor and privilege of being CEO for 3 full seasons. But more recently, I am the founding owner of Santa Barbara Sky FC, who we just announced will commence play in the championship level of USL in 2026. So it's an exciting day for us.
This the idea that you can just take a club from scratch, because as you say, you've worked at Liverpool, you're a Liverpool fan. It's 100 years plus of history, but to bring a club almost to the market straight away, as they've been doing in women's football, they did here with Inter, obviously.
Yeah,
is that really the American dream encapsulated?
Well, it's a great point. I leave Liverpool at the end of the COVID season, arrive in Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara has been a market the USL has always looked at. If you think about it geographically, sits on the Central Coast, links Northern California and Southern California together, and there was no team. So when I say it was a clean sheet of paper, it was literally a sheet of paper that we jotted down some names, and I saw Santa Barbara Sky, and I said, that's going to be our name. And then from then, we built the club, engaged with companies that, there are full-time companies now, the power of the game, that build professional soccer teams in America, their brand positioning, colors, logos, crests. But more importantly, and my wife Debbie's here with me, we immediately built a 501c3 charity called Fundación Cielo, Sky Foundation, so that we were immediately seen as giving back to the community.
Yeah,
so,
great.
Yeah.
So, and tell us more about Liverpool, because obviously you were there in that great golden era.
Yeah, which continues.
And I mean, they're looking good this season. Is it too early to say?
It is too early, but I think it's to the point of, you think about when Jurgen announces that he's leaving, everybody goes, this is the end. Liverpool needs to go in transition. It's going to be a tough 2 seasons, 3 seasons. Who are they going to get? Is it going to be Xabi Alonso? It ends up being who? Arne Slot, who many of us knew, but I think the great majority had never really paid attention to. And what you have is this concept that when I was there, and all the way back to Shankly, it's called the Liverpool Way. And the way to relate to it is that you have this consistency. It used to be the boot room. It was Shankly, Ronnie Moran, Joe Fagan, Ruben Bennett, Roy Evans. And these guys all became managers or caretaker managers. So you have this Liverpool way of who we are, what we stand for, who our fans are, what they expect from us, the power of Anfield, all of that comes together. And we're blessed as a football club to have that consistency. And I think that, look at Liverpool now, 17 games, 16 wins out of 17 games, and looking a little different than Jurgen's style of football, a little bit more in control, a defense that is just not giving up goals, and an attack that's fluid like it was in the great Mane, Firmino, Salah era. Now it's Diaz, Nunez, Jota, Gakpo, and Mo still, but a classic unconventional forward line that just flies around, fortunately is scoring goals. So I'm feeling good. I talked to my friends back there. I was back in Liverpool myself 2 weeks ago supporting my personal charity, which still exists there. And the mood in the city, is good. The blue side of the city, a little less, but they're building a magnificent new stadium on the waterfront. So my hope for the city, weird coming from a red, is that Everton get their act together and everything stabilizes, and we become once again this great football city with 2 competing teams in the Premier League.
A big Merseyside derby in the new stadium would be
ideal.
Exactly.
Where would we get 6 guaranteed points from a season if Everton wasn't there? So that.
And just quickly on Liverpool, there are players now. Mo Salah, we just talked about, Virgil van Dijk, senior players who are sort of, their contracts, their futures are in discussion. Trent has also been talked about as a Real Madrid target. Is it important that he keeps the core of those players together, or could he start to build for the future with some of these younger boys?
Well, it remains to be seen. Look, I'm old enough to remember Kevin Keegan going to Hamburg and thinking the world was collapsing around us. Who's Toshak going to give the ball to? And then somebody says, we got this guy from Celtic, Dalglish, so life goes on. And so I don't know what's going to happen. It is Trent, it's Virgil, it's Mo. It's hard to imagine any of those leaving Liverpool. Ownership, I know ownership is working feverishly to get deals done, whether it's all three or whether it's two of the three or one of the three or none of the three. I don't know, but you look at those players, and what I do like is they all seem very dedicated right now. There's nobody, particularly those three, that is taking a game off for some reason. They are even in Trent's case, they're the senior citizens, and you think about what they offer. And I think that, come January, in particularly in Trent's case, we'll see what happens. But I know that ownership is talking with their respective agents, I'm sure, feverishly. But it won't be cheap.
Yeah. And of course, going back to 2019, 2020, getting them over the line in the Champions League and the Premier League, was it pretty much the purchase of Van Dijk and Alisson that turned Liverpool into that winning side?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly you recall in the old days your spine. It used to be your goalkeeper, centre half, centre forward. And I remember it for us, and this is how old I am. It was Tommy Lawrence, Ron Yates, Ian St. John. And so you had that spine. The Flying Pig, one of the best goalkeepers in the first division at that time. Ron Yates, a colossus of a man. St. John, not a colossus of a man, but a guy that could score goals out of nowhere. I mean, I think, in ownership, you'll look back at you lose Philip Coutinho, which was unbelievably dramatic when I was there. But ownership knew that then this is an opportunity for us to maybe take one player, buy two world-class players for the money that Barcelona was paying for Philip, and it worked out brilliantly as a result. Yeah. But also making sure you build a squad. Alisson's good. We love Ali and we can't wait for him to get back, but nobody worries about Liverpool in goal with Kelleher, who would start for most Premier League teams.
So happy days.
Fingers crossed. It's November.
Peter, it's been great chatting to you.
Gary. Thank you,
and
my
good
friend.
luck with the new venture.
Come on, you Spurs. I mean, come on.
Yeah.